been since you heard that, hasn't it? Yeah, I haven't been doing many videos since my completion of the Purge series, where I went through my CDs, my LPs, my box sets, you name it. And thank you everybody who watched those, commented on them. And actually, thank you to all old and new subscribers, because I'm like over 600 now. So thank you very much. Yeah, so I've kind of stepped away from doing videos because, man, what was that? Probably like 100 videos in 110, 120 days. Got to be too much. Got to be too much for Gary over at Physical Format Jazz. So yeah, I'm step back, letting Gary breathe, and but I'm back to it now, and I'm going to do a review of an album. I don't think I have ever done a proper album review, and part of the reason is, one, it's a big band for me. Black Sabbath are the most important band to me, but over the years I've come to realize Deep Purple really are my favorite band. In particular, your Mark II version, Ian Gillan, and I've been a bit critical over Ian, about Ian over the last 20 years or so. To me, not just live, but on a number of the studio albums, I always felt his voice sounded a bit labored and tired. That I reference it by saying he's basically just talking with a melody. But this album, I think it changed a little. I don't know what happened, but it sounds like a more youthful Ian Gillan, which I am more than happy to say, because he is my favorite lead singer of all time, no doubt about it. And so I am reviewing their newest album, SPLAT. Does that have an exclamation point? Yes, it does. Speaking of, so I ponied up for the box set, okay? Here it is. Yes, it does have an exclamation point. And, oh, can't forget the hype sticker. Everybody loves to see the hype sticker. Deep Purple. One thing I will say, they are not a band unfamiliar to bad album covers. Perfect example here. I've shown you the CDs. I do have these on LP, but all my LPs are now boxed up for the move. So the album before equals 1. Well, what the hell is that? I mean, that is pure laziness. People can criticize the Rolling Stones for their last 2 album covers. That is horrible. And then this one was, what, 2013. So, okay, we're going back, what, 13 years now. But now what? Okay, another horrible album cover. But I am going to tip my hat to Jekyll and Hyde. They're a design firm out of Italy. And they handled this. And there it is in all its glory. That's embossed. Take a look at the back. I mean, I like this enough that I looked them up. I did a search for Jekyll and Hyde Italy. They're a design firm. They do a lot of corporate work, like Ray-Ban's one of their clients. But when I put my band together, and who within the VC is joining my band? Well, I play bass, and I think I should sing. So a guitar, I'm going to have Gary, Physical Format, and I'm going to take Twanger. He's going to play drums for me. And we're going to have Jekyll and Hyde design the album cover. So there's been much debate about whether or not this is Deep Purple's last album or not. You know who knows? Only they know. And maybe they don't even know, because one of them could step in front of a bus today. I'll give you a nice big lyric book, which I really do prefer. Thank you. And it's a little different art that's not on the album cover or back. And then what else do you get? Well, you got the 2 LPs, and they've got the credits on here. Recorded in Nashville at Keith Urban's studio. Now, what else do they give you in here? They give you a 45. Previously unreleased song, Guinness. I would have preferred if they had just put that bonus track on the CD, because I don't want to have to play a 45, okay? So to me, that's a waste. Then they give you these 10-inchers. Who doesn't like a 10-incher, ladies? You got Lazy and Don Solo with leading obvious, so you get that one. And then you get a bit of the side, Hard Lover Man, Into the Fire, Uncommon Man on that one. You get Space Truck and Smoke on the Water, Hush, and Black Knight on this one. You know what? I would have preferred it. It would have been cheap. It had to have been cheaper to have put this all on one LP. You would have had one piece of art, one piece of vinyl. I don't get this. To me, that's just a complete waste of money. So in many senses, many regards, shall we say, I'm disappointed in the box set. But I'm also a sucker for the box set. So, the other thing I will say that is, this is one of the best things I can say about the album. Whether or not you have the LP or the CD, it will be the easiest one to find in your collection of albums because it's just got this bright yellow spine on the LP. And the CD, I mean, come on here, let's see, let's grab a handful of CDs here. Throw that in there. Pretty easy to find, isn't it? Yes. Okay, so I will say that is a good decision. Good call, but, once again, I think that's credit to Jekyll and Hyde of Italy. So, okay, we got all that out of the way, let's start breaking this down here. Ian Gillan, like I said, last 20 years. Kind of disappointing as lead singer. Always a very clever lyricist too. And he kind of takes it to the nth degree on this album. And because he works in words like picadillos, gobbledygook, schwanamagoo, and sesquipedalian. Okay, that's an embryonic word if there's ever one. I heard. And for those not in the know, and I was one of them, I took the trouble to look it up just for you, and a little for me too. But that is a person who uses long words. Okay. Now, as far as guitar, I was never a fan of Steve Morse. Okay, too much of a noodler for me, and especially live. To me, he did not pay respect to the original recordings when they were performing live. Simon McBride does a much better job of it, I think, with the live stuff. But actually, in the studio, these last two albums now have shown me that he is the third best guitarist that Deep Purple has ever had. Obviously, Richie Blackmore's number one, Tommy Bolin number two, Simon McBride would be three. Okay. John Lord has always been my favorite keyboardist. So it's the first time I heard Deep Purple up until his passing. But this album has confirmed my thought that Don Airey was no doubt the best replacement they could have chosen. He is the standout star on this album. Like I said, I love Ian Gillan's vocals on this album, but Don Airey, man, he just steals the show. I don't know if that was a conscious decision. I don't know if that's just how the songs worked out. But, yes, big deal there. Then you got Ian Pace and Roger Glover. Probably, well, for me, the best rhythm section out there now, yeah. So, because you don't have Bonham and Jones, you don't have Butler and Ward. So give me Pace and Glover. All right. Also, what else here? Oh yeah, not one song on this album exceeds 5 minutes, which is pretty rare for them. In fact, even I think like 9 or 10 of the songs are less than 4 minutes long, which is really weird for them. But that's kind of been their style, like the last 5 albums. They really have gotten away from the long form. You're not going to hear Child in Time anymore from this version. So some say this is their 24th studio album. I
disagree. I call it their 23rd because they're including in that the All Covers album, which was like a COVID era album, I think 2021. All they did was covers. To me, that's not a Deep Purple album. That's just Deep Purple dicking around in the studio playing cover tunes, okay? It's not a proper studio album. Now, Deep Purple, a band that puts out many a great opening tracks. Come on, man. You got Highway Star, you got Speed King, you got Fireball, you got Burn, Stormbringer, Perfect Strangers. Is the Battle Rages on the opening track? No, I don't think so. Maybe not. But anyway. So moving on from there to here. One thing I need to do with an album is I got to spend some time with it. If you can do a review, which you consider to be a proper review of an album after you've listened to it once or twice, because I know there were videos out there the day of the release. So, I mean, unless you sat there and listened to it on repeat, bam, 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 bam. Now, today when I'm recording this morning, I listened to it for the 12th time. That is proper. But also, I got to say, you know what? All 12 of those listens have been on CD. Couple were on my ride to and from Buffalo for the MGK Bash. But all the other ones have been at home on CD, even though I have the LP. So I don't know what that says about me or, you know, the state of music. But I just found it easy. Throw a CD in. So let's get down with the songs. Arrogant Boy, opening track, like I say. A band that has put out a lot of great opening tracks. Oh, yeah, also, Coming Home. The Come Taste the Band album, another great opening track. Arrogant Boy, man, it is a balls out song, very fast, comes to an abrupt ending. I think it clocks in at less than 3.5 minutes. So like I said, they've gotten away from the long form. I'm going to say probably my favorite song on the album is The Writer. I love Simon McBride's solo in this. I know his solo has half the number of notes that Steve Morse would have put into it. I just feel that's the way it would have been. It would have been, you know what I'm talking about. Okay. Keith Urban also plays lead on Diablo, which is the second song. I'm assuming they brought him in because they recorded the album at his studio. So maybe they got a discounted rate for that. Guilt Trippin', love that song. Great tinkling of the piano from Don Airey. And what else? Oh, another great, a very clever song. Jessica's Bra. Supposedly, there's a bar where they transpose the lettering. It's supposed to be Jessica's Bar. Ian Gillan turns it into Jessica's Bra. Once again, Simon McBride has a really great solo, and then he passes it off to Don Airey for a good solo. I would say this album, title track, Splat, probably the weakest song on the album. Yeah, I mean, like I say, there's no Perfect Strangers. It's no Battle Rages on or Burn or Stormbringer. So, and then let's wrap this up. Okay, so like I said, after a dozen listens, I think this is a front-loaded album. Give me those first 5 or 6 songs. Not that the last 6 or 7 are bad. There are some very good songs in there. But that tells you how good those first 5 or 6 songs are. And I will also say that this is in my top 3 Deep Purple albums. Drum roll, please. Without Ritchie Blackmore. Okay? I think you know what number 1 is because of my love of Tommy Bolin. It's up to you to figure out what number 2 is. Where does it fall within my Deep Purple rankings? I'm not sure, but I can tell you that it is one of the 3 best albums they put out in the last 30 years. The other 2 would be Whoosh and Perpendicular. And I will definitely be going to see them. They're coming here, I think, August 25th at Ravinia in suburban Chicago. So that's a venue I can go to. Because you know what? You never know when the last time a band is coming to town. I mean, I think Gillen and Glover are 81 this year. And I know Pace and Airy are in their late 70s. Not sure of Simon McBride's age, but not to diminish his talents, but let's face it, he's the least important member of Deep Purple. So, there you go. Please let me know your thoughts on the album if you've bought it, and also what you think. Should you post a review on an album if you've only given it 1 or 2 listens? I'd be very interested to know your thoughts. Thank you very much.